This is the westernmost segment of the Silver Comet Trail, a 62-mile Hall of Fame rail trail that travels from Atlanta to the Alabama-Georgia boundary. In this video, we bike from Rockmart all the way past Esom Hill to Sweet Home, Alabama. Peaceful farmland, open space, critters, wooden bridges, sun-drenched valleys, and scenic views from Mount Trashmore. Mount Trashmore? Yeah. About that. I was warned. Rolling hills, they said. Better take an e-bike, they said. You'll never make it on a townie, they said. They were right. Day one of our Silver Comet experience was crowded with fellow cyclists and featured trestles galore. Day two saw us riding across the pumpkin vine trestle and through the brushy mountain tunnel. But day three saw me walking my bike up one hill after another and cursing the day I was born. Okay, maybe that was a little too strong, but it was rough. How rough? Stick around to find out on this edition of Joyful Trails. My friend Mark was my trail guide and riding partner for this 3-day Silver Comet adventure. Be sure to stick around because at the end of this video, we're finally going to assign a star rating to this popular trail. Now, this last westernmost section of the trail is not nearly as heavily traveled as the eastern and central sections. We almost had the trail to ourselves, but what a beautiful ride on a gorgeous day. So let's get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a trail to ride. It's the Silver Comet Trail from Rockmart to the state line. Let's go.
If I'm lost along the way, if I wander off onto a different trail, will you forgive me if I fail when I'm lost and derailed? If I cry when I'm blue, if I cry alone when I am with you, will you forgive me if I do? If I cry when I'm blue, through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain, if ever my heart strain, will you pull me through like you always do when I am calling your name, when I am calling your name? If I'm wrong when you are right, if I'm only seeing things in black and white, will you forgive me tonight? If I'm wrong and you're right, through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain, if Will you pull me through like you always do when I am calling your name? When I am calling your name. If I'm lost along the way, if you find me in a state of disarray, will you hold on another day? If I'm lost along the way, if I'm lost along the way.
So, day 3 was Rockmart, where we sit right now here in the park, the beautiful park in Rockmart, all the way to the state line, the Alabama-Georgia line. Now, first of all, how about we divide this up into the good, bad, and the ugly? There's no ugly. How about the good and the bad? The good, there were some beautiful valleys. I'm going to call it valleys with beautiful farmland and open vistas. And we saw some critters, including some, what were they, like longhorn cattle?
Longhorn cattle, yeah.
Yeah, so there were some pretty views. And when we got up to the top of a certain crest, there was a beautiful view to be had up there. But the bad would be the hills, the rolling hills. And you tried to warn me.
I did offer you an e-bike today, and you're like, nah, I'll be fine.
He did. He did offer me an e-bike. I was like, nah, it'll be fine. It's fine. I'll be good.
Really?
Other people tried to warn me as well. They tried
Seriously?
to tell me, hey, you better look out. You better be ready. Well, there's no such thing as being ready for those kinds of hills on a townie. There really isn't.
Especially when you're used to rail trails that
Yeah.
are generally 1 to 2 degrees.
I found out today that the trails I typically ride are very flat.
Right.
Now, this is technically a rail trail, and for much of the way we could see the railroad tracks, but we would often be beside the tracks and we would be going up and down, and there was a time or two that you could look over and see that we were even below the tracks a little bit, and then the next thing you know, we're climbing again. There was a lot of climbing, and some people like that. They love climbs.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's their favorite section.
Yeah,
and the good news is
not me.
you do get rewarded. You go through a tough part, and then you get your reward.
There is a payoff. Yeah, the views are amazing. Now, tell me about what they call Mount Trashmore. What?
So between Rockmart and Cedartown, there is what used to be a landfill and actually still currently next to a landfill. And so that's a lot of trash that you walked up today. With your bike.
That biggest, tallest hill that we had to climb was right there close to Mount
Trashmore, right next to it.
I don't really even want. I feel like I'm being disrespectful to say Mount Trashmore, but that's what some people call it. Right.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a beautiful trip today. We made some friends when we got to the end of the line.
We did.
At the Alabama-Georgia state line.
The Cherokee Hiking Club, which evidently is not just hiking, it's also biking.
Yeah.
Very nice folks. And some Joyful Trails subscribers.
There was at least one member of Joyful Trails Nation there.
Right.
That we got to talk to today. And you know what we say? You meet the nicest people on bike trails. You meet the nicest people at the state line.
That's right. Yeah.
Our exclusive Joyful Trails star rating is coming up at the end of the video, so just keep your shorts on. But first, how about this trail, huh? The surface is fantastic. Mark tells me it's the longest continually paved rail trail in the country, and it's part asphalt, part concrete. But Scott, what about the logo, the branding, the signage? Look, I know a lot of people may not care about that kind of stuff, but I think it's important, and the Silver Comet certainly gets a passing grade in that department. The signs and maps have a consistent look, and there's a ton of them. Restrooms are available along this trail, both of the portable variety and more modern, spacious facilities. There are benches for rest breaks all along the way, and I think I saw a lending library or two. Food and water are available in the small towns that touch this trail. One thing to watch out for would be road crossings. There's a ton of them. Some are more straightforward, while some are a little more complicated. Always look both ways and err on the side of stopping. Better to be safe than sorry. There's one spot where you sort of have to zigzag over the railroad tracks, and you sort of need to know where you're going ahead of time because the signage right there isn't the best. So be on the lookout for that. Be aware that on this western leg of the journey, the trail does parallel a busy 4-lane for a little while. Finally, you will see businesses along this trail which benefit, I'm sure, by the sheer number of trail users every day. This bike shop seems to do good business, and here's a furniture store called Silver Comet Furniture. Which of the 3 distinct trail sections was my favorite? Stay tuned to find out. Also, if this video is providing value for you in any way, shape, or form, please like the video, consider subscribing to the channel, and leave a comment down below. A great way to support the channel would be to buy merch, send a super thanks, or share the video with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you're friends with them on Facebook. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be. This is Cedartown, Georgia. The county seat of Polk County, Cedartown is home to 10,190 Americans and covers 9.16 square miles. The Silver Comet Trail travels right through town and passes a railroad depot replica that serves as a welcome center today. It's also a Silver Comet trailhead, and you can find it at mile marker 51.2. Incorporated in 1854, the city derives its name from the abundant red cedar trees that once covered the area, which was originally near an Indian settlement. During the Civil War, Cedartown was abandoned by most of its citizens when Union troops burned it to the ground in 1865, leaving only one mill standing on the outskirts of town. In 1867, the town was rechartered by the state of Georgia. An influx of industrial businesses, fabric mills, and ironworks kept the economy humming. Railroad service came along in the early 20th century. The former Seaboard Airline tracks are still in place and are used by CSXT between Rockmart and Cedartown. Cedartown's Main Street is listed in the National Register of Historic Places in recognition of its architecture. Country music star Waylon Jennings had a hit single called Cedartown, Georgia, back in 1971. Famous folks from Cedartown include Nick Chubb, former NFL football player and Georgia Bulldog. Actor Sterling Holloway, voice of Walt Disney's Winnie the Pooh. and actress and comedian Jan Hooks, famous for her many characters on Saturday Night Live and some unforgettable movie performances.
There's no basement at the Alamo.
Jan Hooks is buried in Cedartown. After struggling to get up all those hills on day 3, I was exhausted. I was happy and relieved to see that iconic state line sign and archway at the end of our ride. By the way, this is the very spot where Georgia gives way to Alabama.
We're not worthy.
Or vice versa.
We're not worthy.
So what was your favorite part of the 3 days?
I'm going to have to say that day 2 was my favorite. Going through the tunnel, I think it's called the Brushy Mountain Tunnel, and over the pumpkin vine trestle. And the weather was perfect, and I don't know, I just couldn't ask for a more relaxing day than what we experienced on day 2.
Right.
Now, day 3 was good for a challenge.
I think a lot of people will like day 3 because they want that challenge.
Yeah.
And then if you're a socialite and you want to people watch, then day 1 might be your preference from Smyrna
day 1
out to Hiram.
From Smyrna. I was going to say
Lots of people.
Dallas, but we went all the way to Hiram. Yeah. A lot of people and a lot of interesting bridges to cross, and there were some infrastructure type features to the trail that were really nice on that day 1. It's just such a varied experience. When you do the whole trail is a little over 60 miles, and it really is like 3 trails in one and a lot of variety. So I think it's a great place to come if you've got a few days to kill.
Yeah, and you can keep going if you have a few more days all the way into Alabama for another 30-something miles.
Yeah. I'm going to save that for sometime in the future.
Right.
Chief Ladiga, we don't know. Hey, if you missed our day 1 and day 2 Comet videos, be sure to go back and watch those so that you'll have a complete picture of what this Hall of Fame trail offers. I will place some cards up above, or you can click on links in the description box below. One of the things that you told me is that you wanted to observe my process when it comes to how these videos are created. What, if anything, did you take away from that?
Well, one thing is that if you're ever riding the trail with Scott, be prepared to wait and wait and wait a little more and a little more after that. And then he'll say, "Hey, Mark, can you go back and another half mile and then ride forward again so I can get you from the drone?" So while, Scott does the 60 miles, you end up doing about 70 or 80 as the guest. No, in all seriousness, the thing I enjoyed the most about was learning, how you appreciate things that a lot of people are just going to fly past along the way. You see everything. And I got a few camera tips, especially for the iPhone.
Yeah.
Was nice. And it was really it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun, even with the waiting.
Yeah, every now and then I would sense just a tiny bit of frustration. I'd be like, "Hey, Mark, stop. I need to get a shot of this cow." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, word. This guy. Oh my gosh." No, he didn't say that at all. You would just pull out your phone and be like, "Okay, let me call my wife or my son or whatever.
Right.
Let me check some email." Or Mark, I know you're a busy man. I know you got to go. Your dog Hershey is wondering what in the world happened to my daddy? And so you got to get back home. But before I let you go, our tradition here at Joyful Trails is that when there is a guest on the channel, the guest is allowed to assign the star rating. Now I know this is, it's a little awkward for you because this is your hometown trail, and sometimes, like the scriptures say, that sometimes a prophet is without honor in his own country. So you might be tempted to overinflate or even underinflate. I don't know what you, just scale of 1 to 5. Just, we haven't talked about it. Just say whatever you think and I'll go with it.
Well, I think either one is the guest. I'm a guest on your show, but you're a guest at the trail. But I think it's a pretty solid 5.
I agree. 5 stars for the Silver Comet Trail. Smyrna to Powder Springs to Hiram to Rockmart to Cedartown to Alabama.
Scott, is Silver Comet a destination trail?
I believe it is. I think we're going to go a little bit past that 5-star rating, and we're going to call this a destination trail here at Joyful Trails. That is a trail that is so nice, you can make a weekend of it, or even build a vacation around it. And I think that's absolutely true.
We saw people doing that.
I think that's absolutely true here. And a big part of the reason is the variety, the history, and the variety. Yeah, no, I'm just happy that you invited me to ride El Silver Comet.
Coming by on your left. I can squeeze by you. Thank you.
And there you have it. Plan your trip to ride West Georgia's Silver Comet Trail. Just show up at Mark's house and tell him Scott sent you. I'm kidding. My thanks to Mark and Mrs. Mark, aka Rhonda, for their southern hospitality and for showing me a good time on the SCT. Do yourself a favor and click on one of these videos next, part 1 and part 2 of our Silver Comet adventure. Then go outside and find a bike trail. Try to find a little joy in the journey.